Hello. Say hello.
Hello.
I just dropped off my daughter to daycare, and we are about to drop off the other little one. Say hello.
Hello.
Say hello.
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 Okay. All right. So I made a post this morning that talked about, what did it talk about? It talked about how you get into an entanglement with carbs when you go on a cheat day or a cheat meal. When you have a cheat meal, you have an entanglement with carbs. And I know so much about that. Hey, Avis. Say hey, Miss Avis.
Hello, Miss Avis.
Avis, we just dropped off your goddaughter, your niece. We're dropping off Kingston now. I think we can get there before it starts to rain. Or maybe we need to go home and then use the car. I don't know. All right, so anyway, so Avis, I know you know, have you ever experienced getting a cheat meal, going on a cheat meal, and that cheat meal turning into a cheat week, turning into a cheat month, turning into a cheat 6 months, turning into a cheat year, and then now you done regained all your weight? Hey, Lisa.
Hello, Miss Lisa.
So yeah, so that has been my experience. So what I would do, I'm gonna tell you some of my little secrets, right? So what I would do is that I would go on these like really strict diets where usually it would be keto. And so with keto, you restrict your carbs to like 25 or less carbs a day, which is basically nothing. And so I would go on these keto diets, y'all, and I would restrict my carbs to like 25. Now listen, I loved it because I would lose a lot of weight, like really quickly. I would lose a lot of weight really quickly, but as soon as I get that cheat meal in, I would feel the intensity of the carbs and the love for the carbs, and I would just like lose it. I would lose it. And so just like that meme said, my cheat day would turn into a cheat week, turn into a cheat month, turn into like 6 months later, I'm trying to get myself back on track from that one cheat meal. So what I started learning to do was not have a cheat day. So I started doing something called intuitive eating. And so with intuitive eating, you allow yourself to have whatever you want in that moment, and then you just move on with your life. And so instead of saying that carbs are bad and that ice cream is bad and that cake is bad, or whatever is bad, you change your perspective to all of this is good and I can enjoy it in moderation whenever I want to, but just not make a lifestyle of it. And so I allow myself the grace to have whatever I want to have, when I want to have it, and then I just move on with my life. And that is what keeps me from going on these binges where I restrict everything. I restrict myself from all the things that I really love, and then I just have it like every once in a while. That's what helps me to not binge, by just allowing myself the grace to have it when I want to have it, and then move on with my life. Just move on. Just have it and then move on.
I'd like to have a shout out.
Yes, Kingston wants a shout out.
Okay, so I'm going to give a shout out to Carlos because his birthday was yesterday.
Oh, how old is Carlos now?
He is 8.
Yes, he's 8 now. Okay. So that's my little tip for that. So intuitive eating, just have it. There is no such thing as a bad food. Now here's the catch. Here's the caveat that I had to learn with myself. The caveat is that if I wanted those things too often, then I knew that there was something else going on. So if my thing was, I love ice cream, right? But I would binge on ice cream every time I felt myself feeling an emotion that I didn't want to feel. Like if I felt out of control at work, I would stop and get some ice cream on the way home. And then I would like get some sweets or whatever else I wanted to get, right? I would do that. So the key is for me is that if I feel myself wanting the ice cream, the sweets or whatever too often, then I know that's my trigger warning to let me know that something else is going on and I need to check in with myself. I need to check in with myself to know where my emotions are, where my thoughts are. Is something going on in my life that I need to process? Do I need to tell come on Kingston, the car's coming. Is there something in my life that I need to process with a therapist, with my friend Avis? Do I need to write in my journal a little bit more? Do I need to use a coping skill? So what I tend to do is I notice what is my intention behind eating. So I look at not only what I'm eating, but why am I eating it? So if I'm eating it because of an emotional reason, then I'll take note and I may monitor what I'm doing and may not do it in that moment. But if I'm eating it just because I just want to have some ice cream, then I allow myself to have the ice cream and then I move on with my life. So knowing why you're eating it, knowing what the intention of it is, go ahead, baby. Knowing what the intention of it is and giving yourself the grace to have it and then move on has been the key for me, not emotionally eating and not binging out after what quote unquote what a cheat meal or a cheat something would be. So something is happening when we can't figure out the why. Exactly, Avis. So that's the whole thing. You got to figure out your why. Like, why do I want to continue? Because I look at patterns. So if this is a pattern for me, not just a one-time thing, because one-time thing, you're not going to get 100, you're not going to become 300 pounds if it's a one-time thing, right? So, but if it's a pattern for me of wanting this thing, then that means that something else is going on, and I need to check in with myself to figure out what is it going on, and I need to address that thing with myself. So that's my thoughts. If you have something that works for you that is different from what works for me, I would love for you to drop it in the comments, and I'm going to try to go live more often on this page and talk about my journey, because I never really talk about my journey and talk about how I lost weight 4 or 5 times before and what's helping me to keep the weight off now. I don't really talk about that much, so I want to talk about it more, and I want to help some people do the same thing.
What about,
so I'm going to try to do some more lives and some more videos on this page. And Kingston wants to do another shout out before we end this live. Go ahead, Kingston.
Big shout out to Deshaun because he went on a diet and he got stronger.
Yes. So my nephew, I'm going to post the video if he allows. I'm going to ask him, see if he'll let me post the video. But my nephew, you guys, looks so good. He sent me a video this week of him. Hey, mommy. He went on the mommy. I was just talking about Deshaun. How Deshaun sent me a video this week, and he looked so good. He was flexing and proud of himself. And he just wanted to say thank you for helping him get started on his own journey. So I'm going to post his video if he lets me. And I will talk to you guys later.
I gave him a shout out too.
Hey, Danielle.
Who's Danielle?
It's one of my friends. Okay, bye, y'all. How do I end this thing? Okay, end.